The modern world is awash in plastic. These tiny particles, less than 5 millimeters in size, are the insidious offspring of plastic pollution. They permeate our environment from the highest peaks to the deepest ocean trenches. Most disturbingly, microplastics have even been detected in human placentas and breast milk, underscoring their potential threat to human health. Microplastics arise from the breakdown of larger plastic debris, but they also originate from microbeads found in cosmetics and synthetic fibers released from clothing during washing. These tiny particles act like sponges, absorbing harmful pollutants from the surrounding water. When marine organisms ingest these contaminated microplastics, the toxins can bioaccumulate up the food chain, ultimately reaching our dinner plates. We produce and consume plastic at an alarming rate, and this material takes hundreds of years to decompose. The consequences of this contamination are far-reaching and potentially devastating. The scale of microplastic pollution is staggering. A 2020 study estimated that 14 million metric tons of microplastics are present on the ocean floor alone. This is equivalent to the weight of over 2 million adult elephants, a grim illustration of the sheer volume of plastic waste we have dumped into our oceans. Even if we drastically reduce our plastic consumption today, an estimated 710 million metric tons of plastic will likely pollute our environment by 2040. The presence of microplastics in the most remote corners of the planet, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, demonstrates the global reach of this pollution. These tiny particles have even been found in the air we breathe, highlighting their ability to travel vast distances and permeate every aspect of our environment. The fishing and tourism industries are particularly vulnerable, as microplastic contamination threatens marine life and damages the aesthetic appeal of coastal areas. The full economic impact of this pollution is still being assessed, but it is clear that the costs are substantial and will continue to grow if we fail to act. Amid this bleak landscape, a glimmer of hope emerges from Wuhan University in China. Scientists there have developed a biodegradable sponge that shows promise in tackling microplastic pollution. This innovation utilizes chitin, a natural polymer found in the exoskeletons of crustaceans and insects, as well as cellulose from cotton. Microplastics, often carrying a slight electrostatic charge, are drawn to the sponge's surface, where they become trapped within its porous structure. Traditional filtration systems, while effective in removing larger debris, often struggle to capture microplastics due to their small size. The biodegradable nature of the Wuhan sponge is a crucial aspect of its design. Unlike synthetic materials that persist in the environment for centuries, chitin and cellulose are naturally broken down by microorganisms, leaving behind no harmful residues. This eliminates the risk of secondary pollution and aligns with the principles of a circular economy. Initial tests of the Wuhan sponge have yielded highly promising results in various water samples, including irrigation water, pond water, lake water, and even seawater. The sponge demonstrated an impressive ability to remove up to 99.9% of microplastics. This high level of efficiency, coupled with its biodegradable nature, makes it a compelling solution for addressing microplastic pollution. The Wuhan sponge stands in contrast to other attempts to address microplastic pollution. For instance, in 2023, researchers in Qingdao, China, developed a synthetic sponge from starch and gelatin. While this sponge showed some promise, its effectiveness varied significantly depending on water conditions such as salinity and pH. The materials used to create the Wuhan sponge are readily available and inexpensive. The simplicity of the sponge's design is another advantage, making it potentially suitable for production in developing countries where microplastic pollution is a significant concern.